is another average rate of change. This time we have rational function. So what we know is that average rate of change, average rate of change is the difference between output values over the difference between input values over the interval that is given. Just quickly, the difference between input values is going to be a plus h minus a right there, and that is h. And difference between output values is going to be f of a plus h minus f of a, which I need to compute. The goal is that f of a plus h minus f of a is going to contain a factor h in it, a factor that simplifies with the denominator. So let's compute that first. So f of a, I replace x by a, and you get 3 over a squared plus 5 plus 1. Then you write f of a plus h, and that's 3 over a plus h to the power 2 plus 5 plus 1. Now, do the difference and simplify as much as possible to get to what you need to get. And when I'm doing the difference, I'm very careful to put a parentheses after the negative sign over here. So 3 over a squared plus 5 plus 1. Then when I have the parentheses, then I can remove the parentheses by distributing the negative sign. And when I distribute the negative sign, immediately I see plus 1 and minus 1 are going to simplify. So I will end up with 3 over a plus h to the power 2 plus 5 as quantity in the denominator. Then minus 3 over a squared plus 5. Now, again, the goal is to find that h in the difference of the output values. And so to do that, I have to make this difference of two fractions into one fraction, basically. Instead of having two rational functions, I want to have one. To do that, I have to have a common denominator. Common denominator means that I multiply the other denominator by top and bottom here, plus 5, and then same routine the other way around. Now the denominator of both. Now, with the same denominator, let's distribute this in, and what I get is 3a squared plus 15, and over here, negative 3 times a plus h to the power 2, negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, and the denominator is just the whole thing. A plus h. Make sure put both denominators in parentheses, both quantities in parentheses. Here again, 15 and 15 simplifies. What I need to do is basically expand a plus h to the power 2 and distribute negative 3. And here I'm going to go 3a squared minus 3a plus h to the power 2 is a squared plus 2a h plus h squared, and then the denominator stays the same. The next step is to distribute that negative 3. I write it another line in here, 3a squared minus 3a squared minus 6ah minus 3h squared over a squared plus 5 quantity times quantity a plus h to the power 2 plus 5. And now things simplify again, and I can see these two are going to simplify, and I end up with minus 6ah minus 3h squared over that denominator. Now I have one more step. I can see each term in the numerator contains h. I have to factor that out. I'm factoring out h, and what is remaining from the first one is negative 6a. From the second one is minus 3h over a squared plus 5 over times a plus h to the power 2 plus 5. Now, if I replace it up here, that was just the difference of the output, which pays if you do it separately. I'm going to end up with h times negative 6a minus 3h over, I can write it like this. Let's go up. H times negative 6a minus 3h divided by a squared plus 5 times a plus h to the power 2 plus 5 divided by h. And this h and that h, they're both, that's in the numerator of the numerator, and this is the numerator of the denominator. They simplify out, and you end up with minus 6a minus 3h over a squared plus 5 times a plus h quantity to the power 2 plus 5 in parentheses. That's your final answer.